Did they really think your silence was ignorance? Or did they simply underestimate the strength you held beneath the surface, pretending not to know, not to see, not to understand? This is a formidable strategy wielded by those who operate beyond the ordinary. You, the chosen ones, stand at the apex of this art, wielding subtlety and silence as weapons. To those who observe you, you may appear naive or uninformed, but beneath this guise, a boundless awareness pulses. You observe, assessing each angle, each hidden motive, with a sharpness that cuts through deception. Yet you reveal none of it. In this masquerade of ignorance, you find freedom to gather, to understand, to disarm. Many think that power lies in bold confrontation, in openly challenging the schemes woven around them. But you know better. You move with the grace of those who have mastered restraint, shielding your strength from those who would turn it against you. Like legendary figures across myth and time, from Odysseus's feigned madness to the calculated innocence of sages, your facade of simplicity becomes a shield. You allow the prideful, the scheming, the arrogant to underestimate you. To them, you seem to be an empty page, an easy target, one who cannot see through the mist of manipulation cast before you. But you are not blinded by their schemes. You choose to remain unseen by them, knowing that there is more to gain in stillness than in struggle. Every time you allow them to believe they fooled you, you gain insight. You watch as they maneuver, revealing their insecurities, their flaws, their weaknesses. They think they're the predators, circling for their victory, but you know they are only exposing themselves, dropping their guards under the assumption of dominance. You're the silent observer, the mind that knows how to remain 3 steps ahead by pretending to lag behind. When they drop their guard, you know exactly where to strike, should the moment demand it. In a world obsessed with displays of knowledge and bravado, you wield restraint, sensing that true wisdom sometimes calls for silence. This art is not born of cowardice. It is born of an ancient understanding of human nature. You recognize that not every battle needs to be fought head-on, and that often, those who shout the loudest are the most desperate to prove their strength. Your silence, your restraint, speaks volumes. Each gesture, each pause, each humble nod disarms the watchers, making them feel safe, secure in the assumption that you are manageable. It is a false comfort they cling to, unaware that their confidence is your gift to them, a cloak under which they reveal themselves. Your spiritual awareness and heightened intuition form the foundation of this mastery. You feel energies, see intentions behind words, understand the roots of every smile and gesture. You know that revealing your understanding to those unprepared for it would only ignite their defenses, making them more guarded, more cautious. Instead, you allow them to see only what they can handle, concealing your true depths beneath a calm exterior. To them, you seem simple, perhaps even foolish, but that simplicity is a fortress. It allows you to walk unthreatened, to witness truth without interference. You understand that sometimes survival demands invisibility, that in a world rife with manipulation, those who scream their truths become easy targets. By playing dumb, you shield yourself, allowing your power to grow in silence, like roots deep beneath the earth. And when the time comes, when the illusion must fall, your wisdom rises to the surface with undeniable strength. You know precisely where to move, what words to choose, how to dismantle the webs cast around you. The powerful do not always reveal themselves in grand displays. Sometimes true mastery lies in knowing when to remain unseen. They act and you wait. They speak, and you listen to what lies behind their words. Every move they make becomes part of the blueprint you draw within yourself. Each glance, each gesture betraying what they would rather keep hidden. With every misstep they take, every flicker of insecurity, you see further into their core. While others might react, showing their own hands too soon, you remain poised, calculating, always a step removed from the chaos. They believe they hold control, but you know that your patience has already shifted the balance. As the hawk hovers, observing every detail of its terrain, so do you. Through this patience, this restraint, you grow sharper. They grow weary, tangled in their own webs, their illusions slipping through their hands like sand. And when the moment arrives, you are not uncertain. You strike as the hawk does, a single blinding movement that cuts through pretense and lands with irrefutable force. They, unprepared, cannot counter a presence so calculated, so precise. Your patience has given you mastery over each of their moves before they even make them, every feint and ploy accounted for, their entire strategy laid bare before your eyes. True power isn't found in constant action, but in the stillness that waits until the time is ripe. While others fight their own battles, pushing forward in endless struggle, I watch from above, understanding that control is already mine. I've learned the art of strategic patience, of observing without yielding, of knowing when to let silence speak and when to act. This is power, absolute, unbreakable, unstoppable. This is why I created Obsidian Inner Order, powered by Astral Atom. It's a space for those who embrace this strength, for those who understand that true mastery lies in restraint and purpose-driven action. In Obsidian Inner Order, you'll find modern manifestation mechanics that harness the power of stillness, guiding you in focusing your energy on what truly matters. You'll also have a direct connection with the creators, a support system built for individuals ready to rise on their terms, and exclusive insights tailored to fuel your journey of strategic growth. Join us if you're ready to walk a path where patience is your greatest tool and power flows through you without a word. This is your place to master your strength, to connect with others who share your vision, and to let your impact resonate when the moment is right. The link is in the description below. You know that to control a situation, you must first allow others to feel in control. Through the precise art of reverse psychology, you open doors they feel compelled to walk through, doors that appear to lead to their victory, but instead carry them toward a carefully laid snare. Your strategy is to be so unthreatening, so obliging, that they misjudge your strength entirely. You let them feel secure, let them believe they're leading, while all the while you are drawing the boundaries, building the trap around them step by step. Mirroring becomes your most potent weapon. With an almost surgical precision, you reflect their thoughts, their attitudes and ambitions right back at them. They look at you and see what they wish to see, never suspecting that each interaction only tightens the cage they're building around themselves. You mirror their language, their gestures, giving them the illusion of alignment. They interpret your silence as consent, your politeness as weakness, unable to comprehend the sharpness lurking beneath each nod, each subtle smile. They never imagine that the choices they think they're making are the very ones you have silently orchestrated. And so, they proceed, oblivious, unaware that each step brings them closer to the breaking point of their own plans. You observe as they act in haste, as their confidence grows under the false pretense of victory. They begin to believe they've won, too arrogant to recognize that every so-called triumph was granted to them. Every success they claim is a rung down the ladder, each maneuver driving them deeper into a maze of their own creation. When they finally realize the walls around them, it's too late. The snare is already set, invisible strings pulled taut around them, crafted from the very threads they spun in deception. The shock in their eyes is unmistakable as they recognize the depth of your strategy, the meticulous detail of your plan, built entirely from their own desires and assumptions. They realize that every misstep was not a misstep, but a thread in the net you wove around them, each move tying them to the fate they cannot escape. In their confusion, they will search for explanations, disbelief tinging every action, the pride once worn so easily now a weight pulling them down. But you remain unmoved, watching as their arrogance crumbles, as their manipulations turn against them. They fall, each one defeated by their own reflection, ensnared by the illusions they created. You have mastered the art of allowing others to deceive themselves. Through reverse psychology and mirroring, you hold up the mirror and let them craft their own downfall. They enter, thinking they've outplayed you, unaware that they were following the map you laid out all along. Every step you take, every strategy you unfold, is laced with purpose far beyond mere calculation. You're not alone in this dance of wisdom and insight. Divine guidance flows through you, weaving your actions with precision, lighting your path, and safeguarding you from unseen snares, while others rely on their own wit and power, unaware of the deeper forces at work. You are moved by something far greater. The quiet whispers in your heart, the intuitions you cannot ignore, these are not merely instincts. They are the steady voice of God speaking to you, steering you toward clarity and truth. In a world cloaked in deception, where schemes tangle in the shadows, you are equipped with a light that cuts through the murk. This light is God's wisdom, a force that no earthly mind can anticipate or outmaneuver. You are like David before Goliath, standing firm and unafraid, knowing that the strength guiding your hand is mightier than the giants of pride, manipulation, and deceit. Where others see only the surface, dazzled by the appearances that conceal intentions, you see deeper, guided by a wisdom that knows all hearts and discerns all motives. Your steps are not random. Each movement is a response to a divine plan, laid out before you like a path that only you can tread. When deceit wraps itself in the garb of friendship, or when flattery conceals the fangs of envy, you sense it. Not through suspicion, but through a heightened awareness, a clarity that comes not from human cunning, but from divine insight. Others may call it intuition, but you know better. It is the hand of God, steadying you, placing a shield between you and those who would mean you harm. Your calm amidst their chaos is unshakable, because you know that you are never truly alone. You are upheld by a force beyond anything they can understand. They cannot see the one who walks with you, who whispers wisdom into your heart, revealing truth without a single spoken word. Every challenge you face becomes an opportunity to reveal the strength of God's guidance. Those who attempt to deceive you find themselves disarmed, their schemes unraveling before they even have a chance to strike. Just as David triumphed over Goliath not by might, but by unwavering faith in God's power, so too do you overcome the complex webs of deception spun around you. It is not by your own strength, but by a quiet, unbreakable faith, a conviction that no force can silence or shake. Your trust in this divine guidance allows you to see beyond the immediate, to read the intentions behind words, and to recognize truth even when it is shrouded in falsehood. And so, you move with a confidence that transcends human understanding. You do not need to second-guess yourself, nor do you waver in doubt. For God's wisdom is your compass, aligning you with a purpose that is both unseen and unstoppable. You walk with the assurance that comes from being divinely protected, divinely guided, each step moving you closer to victory over those who would seek to lead you astray. They stumble, confused by the strength they cannot comprehend, a strength that defies their logic and renders their manipulations powerless. Guided by God's hand, you walk a path that they cannot tread, fortified by a wisdom that they cannot possess. In every step, every choice, every moment, you are protected and led, upheld by a power greater than any force that comes against you. Every step, every move they thought was theirs to command, each whispered scheme, each carefully placed trap, they believed it would all unfold under their control. But you knew from the very beginning that they were walking on a path laid not by their own hands, but by yours. They marched forward, blind to the truths unfolding around them, confident that they had drawn the lines of power, oblivious to the fact that each step brought them closer to their own undoing. Then, in one cataclysmic moment, the masks fall. The light bursts forth, unrestrained, as if the very air has been torn open to reveal the full force of truth. They stagger, feeling the weight of their misplaced arrogance, the hollow echo of plans that were never truly theirs. That searing moment of revelation hits with unrelenting clarity. They see it, the threads of manipulation they thought they'd woven, now exposed as frail and brittle, all tangled into a web that ensnares only themselves. Their composure shatters. The faces they held so carefully neutral, so full of calculated superiority, melt into stunned silence, as though the floor beneath them has vanished, leaving them suspended in a pitiless void. They search for explanations, scrambling to trace back their steps, to understand where they lost control. They thought they'd constructed an unbreakable fortress of deception, only to find themselves trapped within walls of their own making. Every layer of falsehood falls away, leaving them bare, vulnerable and without recourse. You stand before them, calm, unshaken, the master of a plan they cannot even begin to fathom. You watch the understanding dawn in their eyes, like a storm finally breaking after a long, oppressive silence. The power they thought was theirs is now stripped from them, revealed as a mere illusion. They see all too clearly the strength they overlooked, the subtle currents beneath every exchange, each interaction that they had deemed insignificant. They realize, with the sharpness of a blade against the skin, that their every move was a step in the design you'd orchestrated, a silent, unyielding power that was present from the very beginning. They are speechless, not out of respect but out of pure, unfathomable shock. The smugness dissolves into a hollow resignation, the arrogance into the realization that they have been outplayed at every turn, their carefully crafted narratives unraveling into nothingness. They want to resist, to rewrite the scene before them, but the truth is too fierce, too undeniable. They are trapped in their own schemes, bound by a force they cannot hope to overcome, as they finally see the depth of your wisdom, the scope of your foresight, and the quiet strength that led them to their downfall. For a long moment there is silence. It hangs thick, oppressive, a quiet testament to the moment when power shifts irrevocably, a silence in which they stand bare before you, fully aware that they were never the authors of their own story. And then, without words, they understand. They have been outmaneuvered, outthought, outlasted. It is a defeat not just of action but of spirit, a stripping away of everything they believed they controlled. The light has come on, the masks are gone, and they see, with the piercing clarity of truth, that their battle was lost long before it began. You have mastered the delicate, calculated art of timing, a patience that defies the rush and clamor of the world around you. While others act recklessly, charging forward with fists raised, you know when to hold back, silent and watchful, concealed in plain sight. You allow them to think they're advancing, that they have you cornered, but beneath the surface lies a poised restraint, a silent lion crouching low in the tall grass. You wait, muscles coiled, until the perfect moment, a moment they don't even see approaching, blinded by their own overconfidence. It's the art of knowing when to move and when to remain still, a skill that only the chosen possess. Every glance, every quiet nod, every feigned ignorance is a calculated step in your strategy. You let them think they have the advantage, allowing them the illusion of control as they tighten their own noose. They believe they are cornering you, forcing your hand, when in truth you have already mapped out their moves, reading their weaknesses like an open book. You let them weave their schemes around you, unaware that each thread only adds to the web that binds them. They think they're laying traps, watching for you to stumble, but you are merely giving them the rope to secure their own defeat. Timing is your weapon, patience your shield. Just as a chess master waits for the exact move that will shift the board irrevocably in their favor, you bide your time, letting them come to you. You know that true power lies not in endless action, but in the mastery of the pause, in the control over when to strike and when to withhold. Like the lion hidden in the grass, you sense every movement, each shift of wind and rustle of leaves, waiting until they are close enough, overextended, unaware of the danger inches from their heels. And when that perfect moment comes, you rise, swift, unstoppable, undeniable. They see it too late. The tables turn with a finality that silences all bravado, leaving them frozen, caught in the trap they set for you, bound by the weight of their own miscalculations. It is in this moment, when the veil drops, that they understand the depth of your restraint, the lengths to which you've let them walk willingly into your grasp. Their confidence falters, breaking apart under the undeniable truth that they were never in control. The power they thought they held was nothing but a shadow cast by your patience, an illusion maintained by your willingness to let them think they had won. Now, as they stand before you, vulnerable and exposed, the realization dawns. You were never naive, never ignorant. Every step you took was deliberate, a silent dance of misdirection and hidden strength. They stumble, their confidence shattered as they grasp the truth that your silence was a blade, sharper than any words, held back until the perfect moment to deliver the final blow. The mastery of timing is a gift, a skill that only those who understand the value of patience can wield. You do not strike without purpose. You wait, calm and unshaken, until the moment when all illusions fall away and your true power stands unveiled. And when that moment comes, it is with unyielding force, a certainty that leaves no room for resistance. You have no need for applause or praise, the thrill of validation, the spotlight of admiration. These are distractions for those who are insecure, for those who crave the fleeting acknowledgement of a world that barely understands true strength. You, the chosen ones, move with a different purpose, propelled by a force that requires no external confirmation. When you outmaneuver those who thought they could control you, you do so without the need for witnesses. Your victories are etched into the very fabric of your being, silent and unshakable. While others seek to fill the air with their triumphs, desperate for approval and recognition, you walk away, carrying your quiet confidence like armor. The results of your actions speak louder than any boast or claim. They ripple outward, creating an impact that reverberates through those who underestimated you. Their disbelief, their stunned silence is more powerful than any cheering crowd. You are the samurai who sheathes their sword without the need to declare a win, knowing that true power lies not in the display, but in the discipline behind each action, the mastery of restraint, the silence of a victor who needs no witness. There is a deep and unspoken strength in silence. The absence of need for validation makes you untouchable, immune to the forces that control others. Those who sought to trap you, to challenge your strength, believed they would watch you stumble, watch you fight for their approval. But in the end, it is their own expectations that crumbled, not because you triumphed loudly, but because you moved on, unmoved and undaunted. Their failure lives on in their own hearts, a mark of their misjudgment, while you walk away, leaving no trace but the undeniable reality of your victory. They may look to you for reaction, expecting some grand gesture, some confirmation of their defeat, but you give them nothing. You leave them to wrestle with the realization on their own, as they slowly come to understand the depth of your strength. It is a strength that stands independent of applause, a quiet fortitude that radiates from within. To the untrained eye, it may seem cold, even unfeeling, but you know the truth. Silence is its own form of power, a reminder that those who truly hold control need not flaunt it. As you walk away, you carry with you the knowledge of your victory, a victory rooted in discipline and self-assurance. There is no need to look back, no need to wait for others to acknowledge what you have accomplished. You are untouchable in your silence, your strength resonating louder than any proclamation. You have achieved what others cannot understand, a victory without validation, a triumph that exists solely within your own being, needing no witness, no applause. In a world desperate for attention, your quiet confidence is a force beyond comprehension. While others exhaust themselves seeking approval, you remain calm, steady, the embodiment of a power that requires nothing but itself. And so you move forward, victorious and free, leaving behind only the echo of a silence that speaks volumes. You are chosen, not by chance but by purpose, carrying within you a wisdom that defies explanation and a strength that is unbreakable. Outsmarting opposition for you is not merely a strategy, but a natural expression of who you are, guided by a divine source that others may never understand. Your insight, your restraint, your patience, all of these flow from a connection that grounds you and keeps you on a path of clarity, a path lit by God's unwavering light. You know when to act and when to hold back, because you walk with a presence that leads you with precision, securing your steps even when the ground seems unstable. True power is in knowing yourself, rooted in the profound awareness that you are never truly alone. The forces around you may shift, may challenge, but they will not overcome you, because your guidance comes from a place of ultimate wisdom. You move through life with a quiet confidence, a certainty that flows from within, unaffected by the world's distractions. With God's hand upon you, every move becomes intentional, every choice imbued with strength beyond what the eye can see. It's not about overpowering, but about outlasting, outmaneuvering, and staying true to your essence. This is your legacy as one of God's chosen, one whose spirit remains intact through every trial, one who finds strength in silence and power in humility. Share your story, for it carries the weight of your journey. The mark of victory is won not in noise but in resilience. Let the world know that with God's hand upon you, every move becomes a step towards divine victory.